Hi, welcome back to my channel. And today, we're going to talk about my opinions on, the Crota's End raid. How I feel about it. What things that need to be changed. And something to, I guess the word is, try to make something right. All accommodated in one video. I will edit this. Hopefully it won't be as obnoxious and piss poor. So, let me move this back. Okay, so this is going to have to be. So, Crota's End. Day one experience. The loot. The mechanics. The mistake I made. This is going to be for the first half of the video. So, I will leave these people's name anonymous because I want to respect them. They deserve to be respected. The only person who deserves to be called out and be called a bitch is me. So, first things first. A raid team was a clan I was a part of. I am now part of a new one. It's a video game. We can do whatever we want. The clan I was a part of, you would know as the Dysfunctional Delinquents. Because of my stupidity, I am no longer with them. Because I let my anger, my expectations, and most importantly, I wouldn't say ego, but idea of being day one ready get to the best of me, and I lost some great friends, a good family to be a part of, and I am part of a clan that really I'm just here to help them reach their goals, reach their standards, and do what is requested of me. I got friends in there. They are awesome, amazing people, and should be respected as well. To those people, if they even watch this video, I am disappointed and ashamed of myself for leaving without saying anything. Because in my mind, the adult thing, a notification. The adult thing to me was to not get angry, not scream at the team, and just avoid the situation. That's what I did. And I was informed by, you know who you are. I apologized in your Discord and gave me a better insight that was not the way to do it. So, I appreciate your feedback. I will do everything in my power to be a better part of this community if I continue to be in it, but we'll just see. To the rest of y'all, I firmly believe if we're going to go off what Destiny is all about, it's about the community. It's about socializing. It's supposed to be about being a family. A family. Y'all are way better than me. Just because I grind every day, just because I have a quote-unquote crafted weapon that you don't have, doesn't make me a better player. A better player would compromise. A better player would explain themselves before they go off and do it with another team, and that, I am not a good player. I do not deserve to be forgiven. It was on my behalf terrible what I did, and I deserve to be clowned for it. Now, I hope that is significant. If y'all see this video and want to talk to me on my Discord, and trust me, I fully understand if you block me and everything. That is understandable, and I deserve that. So, now, let's actually get about Crota's End itself. Crota's End, in my opinion, is alright. Good raid. It's a good raid. Good armor. I love what they did with the Age of Triumph. It is really good. Really good. Especially with Hunter's Cloak, Warlock armor. The Hunter Cloak, we already have a Solstice helmet, so we're going to have triple horns. Thing that, a very few amount of people, including myself, wanted. The triple horn strat. Kind of like Capri's horn, but better. The weapons are craftable, and they look like, we haven't gotten Light GG yet. We're going to get that this reset. They look like they're going to have some absolute good perks, like the sword logic that gives you an increased damage, the amount of kills. Kind of like target lock, but more progressive than just shooting it at a continual target. You get kills and it gives you brackets. Really great perks, and the intrinsic trait, at least on the Avalon ally, is Cursed Thrall. When you get a melee kill, it has a Cursed Thrall explosion. So you could rock that a legendary add on allies. It might be on the other weapons. I just haven't tried it. If that's the case, then in my opinion, one of the best perks that's been released. That is so good, especially for Ad Clear and Nightfalls. Now, the mechanics, for the most part, is pretty damn good. I would argue that it's consistent, and that's great. I have an issue with it, though. Especially with two of them. One, the sword bearers, at least on bridge. And two, the whole first encounter with the light. Mainly that encounter. It's a tad bit annoying, especially when when you're realizing that the buff has a good amount timer that you cannot hold it. Now, a good team, this is fine, but for people who are not as experienced, who hasn't really grasped those ideas, it could be hell to work with. Now, that might be part of the whole raid. It's, after all, you're supposed to be descending into the hell mouth. It's supposed to be hell. But for a fun and gameplay-wise, it's quite fucking annoying, especially when you're going against the Pendulins. And the Pendulins are really inconsistent on damage. Sometimes I would argue that you would survive, but sometimes you would just get launched and die. You would get the Pendulum Death on top of, AoE damage. Well, not AoE, but, like hitting a wall. And we're supposed to not have that anymore, but that, I guess, is what it is. And it is a Bungie moment. It's intentional, and if you like that, that's cool. Now, I mentioned the sword bearers. The sword bearers take a full minute to spawn. There's a problem with that. Again, if you are not as experienced and you don't know how if you know the basics of the mechanics work, but not keep the game loop consistent, it feels like you could wait for a sword bearer for 5 to 6 minutes. Now, if you're struggling to just cross the bridge, I assume we will get a lot better. So, in theory, all this would not be a problem. But especially like for the short future, this is going to be annoying. Great armor, just annoying mechanics. And overall, the raid itself is great. Again, it's great. It just has some mechanics that clearly I would like to see decrease in time. But if not, if you can't, it's a good raid overall. The exotic, though. Now, if you complete day one, that was great what they did. It was great what they did. You get it immediately, and I wish I knew you could just do Crota CP. I was told you had to do the whole fucking raid to get it tracked, but all you had to do was Crota, and I wish I fucking knew that. Anywho, I like the fact that it's based back to basics, the quest back in D1. There's one issue with it, though. 20 Esral Essences to get the gun unlocked, and I do not know 100%, but you'll need an extra 10 to get it done. To get the catalyst, my bad. To get the catalyst. That's outrageous, especially when you realize that the essences only drop from first and Crota encounter and triumphs. Now, for good players, who have a dedicated team, who do it every week, this is really no issue. Now, for people like me, who has the LFG now, who don't really have a dedicated group at this time, it's a fucking nightmare. And arguably, and probably will share very similar interests, we would rather have it a random necrocosm, a random drop. And honestly, that should not be the case. We should want it to be the quest. And that's awesome, but all you needed was one. Fucking one. Not 10 on top of... No, 20 on top of an extra 10 to get the catalyst. That's kind of BS. I think that should be reduced to 10, and the catalyst should be to make it, I guess, relatively fair altogether. So it should be 10 and 15, making 25, not 30. It's just one of those deals that I understand the catalyst needs to be like actually something you want to grind for, and we need to meet that middle ground. Hopefully Bungie will actually do that, because it means you only need 10 to get the gun, but if you want the catalyst, and by the way, I've heard it's really good, works with narcotic grips, that's fair. It's going on top of the icing on the cake. So that should be the route to go for. Again, that's just maybe a me thing, and I've had it actually more like 70-30 30, 70 thinks it's too much, and 30 is like, oh, I like it because no one else has it, and I'm broken and I'm unstoppable in PvP. Only making it wanted to get nerfed, and that is, you should not should not brag about that because man, I wish I was good. I wish I could have got it day one because I'm missing out. So, yeah. Overall, the raid is good. It meets its standards. Sorry, I want to for purposes. It meets the standards of a reprised raid. Now the question is, would have rather have Wrath or Crota's End? It's probably going to be hypocritical. The armor and the weapons are truly something worth the grind for. The machine gun's great. We're going to get increases on the shot. The shotgun looks good. And if I'm correct, it came back. The auto rifle looks pretty damn solid. It's a slow shooting auto rifle with some good perks. Looks good. I would argue, if we're going to go solely on armor, I would want Crota. I honestly like the Crota armor, especially with the Titan. I like all the armor sets, but the best one's the Hunter and Warlock. But otherwise, gameplay-wise, what could have been done, and you got to remember, Rise of Iron was really good armor set. I still would wanted Wrath. So overall, I think Wrath should return. I'm glad they brought Crota, and if we were solely talking about armor, then Crota, but everything else, my general experience with this raid and what we know about it now, I think Wrath would have been better. Now, how would have I've been pondering this for the longest time, and I'm probably insane for thinking this, but what if they brought Pocket Infinity back for the featured weapon, and you would have to get kills to make it insanely fast? You already have weapons that shoot faster. Even this Necrochasm, after a reload, makes it shoot really fast. So I think it would be funny. I mean, it would be really nerfed compared to its Destiny 1 counterpart. But Pocket Infinity would return. It would be a good, fun Crucible weapon just to troll with. You would have to get the stacks to make it the D1 way. But it would be hilarious. Just beaming down a super. That would be hilarious. Now, it would be like the Ignon's Burden kind of game loop in Crucible. You would have to get the ammo. You would have to get the kills. And that takes a lot of setup, but it would be hilarious. How do I feel about Destiny after Crota's End? My contention hasn't really changed. It seems like to me that Final Shape is going to be it's one of its biggest last content drops, and then they're going to focus on Marathon. As much as I want to say it, we've seen everything, and after Crota's End, it just seems like that. I'm hoping, this is just a thought, I'm hoping that Garden is going to get reworked, so we'll at least have Garden to play, and that's going to be awesome. People don't understand that Garden's weapons are fucking amazing. Reckless Oracle, the hand cannon, and imagine if they brought better armor set, for example, if they brought the Fog armor.
Now that wouldn't happen, but that would just be in a wishful world, and then again, it should be involved. But imagine if they updated the armor to make it more grass-like with the mix. I think that would be a good take on it. But then again, it would just be like Last Wish, and to be fair, we like the fact that Last Wish was reworked. And it had great weapons. We're just waiting for Guardian because I still have 2 triumphs to do. When they bring that rework it, I'm going to be getting in line. And I'm going to be so fucking happy because that is a good title to get. And if anybody wants to get a raid title, the 3 ones you have to get is Ribbon's Bane, also known as Woman's Bane, Enlighten. And finally, if you can, I really think Descendant is a really good one. I have it. It's really good. It's a good actual, I like to wear it for Crucible. Because Descendant, you are the descendant of what came before the new players. That's the play on words again. It shows that you are a hardened individual. So, again, just
good titles. I love the fact I've strained. I will get back to my point. Crota's End was an alright raid. Great armor, very annoying mechanics, and a very annoying exotic quest. It really is ruined by those 2 pillars, and probably Bungie's is going to fix them. That's going to be great. And it's going to mean that we're going to have Necrochasm, we're all going to get our exotic catalyst, and we're going to have a few fun weeks, and then they're going to nerf it. And at least we would have that. I wish we could still use the add-on ally shard farm, but motherfucking Bungie can't fix the basics of things, but when we're having fun, it gets removed. God, we're in a love-hate relationship with this game. So, that's kind of my raps, and again, to the people who you know who you are, my Discords are open. If you do not want to talk, I am 100%, and it is fair to rag on me for that. If I could have just said I wanted to go to work, I would have done that. I thought I was being the better person, not getting angry, screaming after, what I've already been. I was nagging, like, hey, you didn't have the weapons. Hey, you're not really paying attention. And I did let my anger get to me, and that is on me. We should be doing day one for fun. And that is on me for setting a too high of an expectation, and I deserve, again, to be clowned for it. I hope one day, maybe, just maybe, I might get to redeem myself, and maybe, just maybe, be able to get back into Discord. Now, I left the Discord. They didn't kick me. I left. I was just trying to be the better person because I kind of got shadow banned. Then again, that's all me. I'm not. No one's hating on me. It's just kind of what I did kind of fit the bill, and I just they can probably show what I said on Discord. Basically, I said I don't regret what I did, and I definitely do. I wouldn't be apologizing if I didn't. So that's my wraps on day one. The Crota's in loot, everything to go on it, and I really hope y'all will jump in because that Warlock and Hunter armor is amazing. The Titan is also good. Just you gotta find pieces to work on it. Maybe the Season of Dawn. A lot of people don't really understand it. Like the chest piece with the Season of Dawn helmet, nut material. But I'll leave you to it. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.